It's giving blood and soil. Like, you know? Like, is it from the Nazi Women's Magazine? Or is it from 2022 TikTok? Like, I just can't tell. Who knows? I just think that if I was part of a movement...
Why are we talking like this?
...that had a lot of crossover with fascists and neo-Nazis and Nazi culture, I would probably make sure that my propaganda for my lifestyle did not, like, emulate the 1920s and 30s. Do you know, like, what I mean?
Man, I hate her voice so much that I think I'm going to take Michael Knowles' side in this one. Hold on.
Just how I do stuff, though, you know.
So right now,
same editor as Ben Shapiro. I feel it.
You're a single guy. You got to pick one of those two women to be your wife. Who do you pick? I'm not even...
Oh, there was a first woman? Maybe I shouldn't have skipped ahead. Who was the first woman? I'm sorry.
Take it away.
Oh. That's it? That was... Okay, there we go. That was it. We did it. Okay. That was it. Okay.
You pick. I'm not even saying based on looks. Obviously, the Tradwife looked very, very pretty, and the other woman possibly could be pretty, but she was not trying to make herself look very pretty.
But she's stinky. You can see from the other
woman.
You can see from the stink lines, and also the pigeons fell down. I like how Michael Knowles, like, because the editor is the one who does over this. So I like how Michael Knowles is like, I'm not saying she's unattractive. She just wasn't really like super done up at the moment. And the editor is like, okay, hold on.
And possibly could be pretty, but she was not trying to make herself look very pretty.
It's like choose a tone.
And she was trying to make herself seem,
you know, apathetic and speaking in that way that millennials do in the vocal fry, which is just an expression of apathy because you're not even putting your breath underneath your voice.
That was not a millennial. I'm pretty sure that was a Zoomer, and it was a Valley Girl accent, not... Okay.
And it's
there's the Tradwife all happy, baking a pie or whatever she's doing, dolled up, looking good. And then her argument...
Oh, I saw that one. This one had the Twitter video where they were like, I am canceled for liking to cook for my husband. And then it turns out that she's like been on news articles. I defy modern society by cooking for my husband. And what she does is she makes porn. Not the kind of porn that you jerk it to, but this is porn. She wears revealing clothing that she frames from the camera perspective at breast height. And she does 2-minute TikTok videos, and it's all like guys are supposed to watch this and drool over it. It's porn. It's softcore Tradwife porn. That's what it is. It's called pinup. In a way, I think it's a little more grotesque than pinup. Pinup art is self-aware. If it's like painted on the side of a World War II fighter plane, and it's a lady in like, I don't know, a bomber jacket, let's like zipped open so her like cleavage is showing or whatever. Like, that's great. Godspeed. But there's something really insidious about trying to sell a lifestyle of chastity, modesty, and traditional gender roles with videos of a big honkin' tittied girl in like huggable, revealing clothing, filming at breast height. I don't have an issue with it. I think it's the dissonance between the way it's deliberately framed and set up. And you know she's thinking of it too. It's not just incidentally she has large boobs. She's like, okay, what clothing will I wear to really show these puppies off? And then she puts out the video, and it's like a defense of traditional. No, it's not. Go back to the 1920s and wear a shirt like that. You're kidding me? You're putting out this social media for a bunch of boys to look at? What are you doing? Go to your husband and beat yourself? Whatever Tradwives do. I don't know.
Looking good. And then her argument.
Literally arrested. Yeah, not a joke. Literally arrested if you go back far enough. Yeah.
The argument for why her way of life, which does not seem to be leading her to very much flourishing. She just doesn't seem that happy. The Tradwife seems very happy. You know the tree by its fruits.
That's true. You can tell. Nobody can be happy when they talk like that. You know how they fucking sound like? They sound like that stupid bitch from Danganronpa 2. The magic girl with the red hair. That's what she sounds like, man. God, I hate that voice tone. I hate that vocal thing so much. Yeah, the Xanax.
Her argument as to why
Oh, is that Danganronpa 3? Sorry.
you should not be the trad wife or like the trad wife is that if you are traditional, if you are married to a husband and you have traditional women's roles, you're basically a Nazi. Step one.
That is true. There's definitely an overlap there. You know, the Nazis did care a lot about ostensibly promoting women's traditional gender roles. I want to note, by the way, I still don't actually know what, like, trad girl means, because as far as I can tell, based on the, like, schizophrenic fetishization I see on the internet, a trad girl is a blonde white woman, that's critical, and she wears sundresses, and she'll cook for you, but she also loves being throat deep anal, like you can piss on her face. Like, there's such a weirdly aggressive sexualization of the trad wifing. You know, I just feel like if we're being serious about this, they would be like, oh yes, I want a trad wife because I'm interested in having her take care of the home and cooking while I do the work, and I want my children to be raised attentively by her. And then you go look at, like, trad wife defenders, and they're like, dude, I cannot wait to have fresh, tight, white trad wife that has not been infected by other men, and I will ruin her. Yeah, like, and it's like, okay, well, this is just porn. We're doing porn again. It's just porn again. Oh, you know, by the way, one other thing. If we were really talking trad wife shit, let's be real here. They wouldn't look that good, okay? Trad wives are not the ones dolling themselves up, learning how to do makeup that well, wearing super tight revealing clothes. No, go back, like, woman 1890s. And you look at that shit, and it's like, okay, not to say she doesn't look nice. I actually think she looks quite pretty. But I can't see any titties. You know what we should bring back? When we say trad wife, we should mean, like, woman with a big hat, but, like, nothing else. You know what I mean? Like she could be wearing, like, a lace bra. I don't care here, but she should have a big hat. What do you guys think? You know, interestingly, for around the turn of the century, short hair was actually relatively popular. She has a bun back here, but you can see it's short up here, so it gives the appearance of being short. So it's just America lost its way when it ditched big hats. That's true. Okay, if I went to, like, women 1940s, they still wore hats back then, right? Okay, good. There we go. But if I go to the 1950s, is that when we lost our way? Yep, I don't see any hats. Okay, the most I see is kind of like a bonnet, a little bit. Is that a bonnet? Is that what that's called? That, like, hair wrap that gives you a little pompadour? That's not a bonnet. Okay, then I'm wrong on the term. Scarf? That's a bonnet. I don't know. I'm just asking. I don't know the term. I don't know women's hats. I'm just asking. Bonnets around the ears. Okay, yeah. I guess around this time it was legal to go outside in a two-piece swimsuit, though this is still relatively modest by today's standards. Actually, I think this would be considered pretty, like, racy by today's standards, and this would be considered, like, grandma tier stuff, right? Because I don't think I've ever seen a girl wear pants like that. Certainly not at the beach. My greatest ambition is having a career without becoming a career woman. Is this a trad wife? What if somebody was like, yeah, I want a trad girl, and then they got, like, a flapper from the 1920s. You know what I mean? Who were lambasted at the time for being, like, dance hoes. You know you're getting mean sloppy toppy if you ask for your trad wife and she gives you the giant feather in hat band dangly dress stare, you know? You're about to get some mad sloppy toppy. Trying to look for more good flapper girls. A lot of this is cross-dressing, I have to say. They seem to be pretty fond of that. Man, they really like their feathers. Yeah, I want a trad girl. Me in my head, just thinking of how many feathers I want her to have. Modern girls only have 1 or 2 feathers in their giant bedazzled hat. Okay? I want a whole plume. I want to look like a Roman centurion on a horse. This is a lot of chest we're showing. God, no wonder they gave flappers shit. You just want a bird? I mean, yeah, sure. Aren't all women birds? Don't we call them that?
Get married and cook for your husband. Step
Just no context.
2. Step 3, you're a Nazi. I think you might need to flesh out that idea a little bit more. Hitler drank water. Do you want to drink? Why are you drinking water? I wouldn't choose my beverages based on what.
That's why I don't drink water. I only drink Coca-Cola, an American beverage that Hitler would not have been able to enjoy. He probably drank Coca-Cola. I don't know.
People did in the 1930s.
Why do we do the face tracking stuff?
Germany. Okay, next, Lib.
I just got done doing an interview.
Well, hold on. So this is a trad wife because she has a hat and she has no neckline except for her actual neck.
Deep diving the entire Tradwife movement. Because although I love the aesthetic,
Okay. Yeah, clearly.
and I am a stay-at-home mom, I do not believe a woman's place is in service to her man or her household. So when we were discussing the Tradwives and why it's connected to the alt-right, a realization came into my head that I had not yet made the connection between. The reason why Tradwives and so-called like
Why does he have to share the screen? She looks nice. I just want to look at her. Why, Michael?
traditional women can be so dangerous is because they believe it is not just their place to be in service to their husbands and their homes. It is women's place to be in service to their husband and their homes.
Yes.
The difference between individual choice and natural position is what makes it dangerous.
So yes, that is correct. This is the feminist distinction where there's nothing wrong if a chick wants to stay at home, raise the kids, cook, wear whatever, whatever. It's the problem is with the broader prescription. Look at how mad he's mad that he can't see any cleavage right now.
Because men have been able to hold those misogynistic views forever. And only recently has feminism pushed
He's doing a funny face, see, because she said the word misogyny. So he's like, boing.
back against it. But when it is a woman who holds these ideologies to be truth, she has now emboldened an entire score of misogynistic men to go forth and subjugate women on the premise that that is their place.
I don't like the Tradwives because they're trying to force their view of what women should do on me.
Yes. Yeah. Do you think if I unpause, he'll just stop right there and he'll be like, okay.
That's not the particulars of their lifestyle. It's that they're trying to force their view of how women should behave on me.
Yes. Yeah. She specifically said that exact thing.
Which is getting in the way of me trying to force my views of how women should behave on them.
No. Here's the misstep. At no point did she say that people couldn't live tradwife lifestyles. She's promoting people's choice. It really is crazy how anti-choice conservatives are. Like, they're pretty open now about the fact that it's not about... Because originally it was like, people should have the freedom to do this. But obviously what they want is, like, through any use of power possible to force people into that. Because the woman there was literally arguing in favor of you should be able to choose. She was just saying she didn't like the tradwife movement because they didn't want people to choose. They wanted people to be forced into subjugation. And he agrees with that position. He wants the imposition of state power. So he has to pretend that actually it is the woman who made that TikTok who is anti-choice. Why?
You're both trying to do that. You're saying that feminism is the only legitimate way forward for women.
She didn't mention feminism. She just said she wanted people to have the choice. She's deliberately exercising the choice to live as a stay-at-home mom who dresses like she's from the 20s or whatever. She's defending the choice. That's the feminist argument. The feminist argument is the pro-choice one there, in more ways than one.
At least at a political level, and that the Tradwives are hostile.
This is representative. The editor has to fill like an ugly, mean quota here, but unfortunately for the editor, the woman in this one who's making the feminist talking point is an attractive, conservatively dressed, and apparently happy stay-at-home mom. So in order to properly frame the audience's perspective, we need to This person's wearing an anti-white men badge. No, the background of the badge is the same color as the shirt. This isn't a button. This is printed on the shirt. There's just an anti-white men stamp right here. That's actually good. I like that. The button was some weak shit. Just having it directly on the shirt is very good. Yeah, I'd wear it. I don't know if I want to wear the reset era thing, though.
To feminism, so the Tradwives have to go. They're very dangerous. We need to be very
That's what happened in the TikTok, as we remember.
wary of them and discourage them from being traditional. She's demonstrating the point. We live in a society, some view or other is going to predominate. And so it can either be the angry feminist view.
So no. You have the view that she supports, which is where people can choose to be Tradwives or not, or the other view that she doesn't support, which is where you have no choice. That was explicitly what she said.
Or it can be the happy Tradwife view.
Ah, there it is. The happy Tradwife view, which in the framing of the video was one where you have no choice. I feel like a couple years ago, they would not have put TikToks like this into their little video review. And the reason they're doing it now is because they're getting more comfortable openly admitting that they're anti-choice and they want to use the state to force people into certain types of behavior. Why do all modern con videos look like they're made for ADHD children? Well, I think that's who they're trying to reel in, right? Because, like, conservatives kind of get the boomer market by default. Conservatives right now in America are terrified of young people because young people are so left-leaning, more so than any generation ever, by a huge margin. So I think they're really anxious about, like, the direction things are taking there. Yeah, them boomers ain't gonna last forever, you know? Like, that's, you know, literally.
Or I guess some other view that has not been raised yet. But if I had to choose between those two, probably the traditional way is best.
We know.
More from the libs and the Tradwives in 1 second. First, though, people are raving about...
But that last one was both a lib and a Tradwife. Like, did you see the video? It's not a mutually exclusive dichotomy. What are we shilling for today?
Genucell skincare. Jessica from Huntsville, Alabama says, my skin looks so soft and clear.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to find polling on, like, pro-trans values by generation, you know? Percent saying greater social acceptance of people who are transgender is generally good or bad for our society. And then, as you can see right here, interestingly, still only 54% say good, but people seem to be kind of neutral leaning on this specific question. Like 30% across the board seem to say like somewhat like neither good nor bad. But if you take a look at the difference here with young people, that is a huge distinction there. Like, look at that. That's massive. That's twice as many in the 18 to 29 demographic as like 65 plus. And I think it's even more left-leaning for the under 18s, like the actual like Zoomers. We don't want your acceptance, we just want to live, Bosh. Well, yeah, sorry, you're going to need our acceptance to live. That is unfortunately how being a minority is. What do you think of trans femmes who want to be tradwives? If you want to be a tradwife, go for it. I don't have a problem with even the tradwife aesthetic. In fact, the last lady that we saw, I find this quite charming, personally. I don't really take issue with it. Maybe the hat's a bit much for me, but it's cute. I really don't have an issue. The main problem that I have, like from a partner perspective, is that I think how do I put this? Not sexually submissive, but like conversationally submissive, conceptually submissive. You understand what I'm talking about? If somebody wants to like take care of the house, yeah, I love it when people wash my dishes and make me food. However, the thing I can't stand is the whole like the man is the captain and the woman is the first mate attitude towards the house. Holy shit, that's so like, because the thing you do, this is one of the reasons why so many people have trouble thinking of their girlfriends and wives as friends. It's because they think of them of like lesser beings with lesser decision-making capabilities. And that shit is pretty dumb. Like, whether or not you pretend it's not the case, if you're doing that captain first mate bullshit where it's like, ah, yes, I'm in charge, like that informs in a critical perspective, it informs your relationship with that person. You know what I mean? It's like the same way that in a workplace, you know, there is a natural dehumanization of the worker from the perspective of the manager because the manager is placed in a position over them. Like, you're not with family when you're at the workplace. You're with your boss. And if you bring that attitude into the household, I think that's sick. But if you just want to suck my dick a lot and like make me food, then whatever. Vosh, there are unironically women who exist who want to be in that position. Yeah, and I'm saying they're fucking annoying. I'm not saying they shouldn't be allowed to. I'm just saying they're annoying. Stay away from me.
In 1 second. First, though, people are critical of Knowles. So you Genucel.com/KnowlesYT, Genucel.com/KnowlesYT.
Know the term trad. Okay, so you guys
This person does not seem to be repping the tradwife aesthetic.
know the term tradwife. It's gotten really popular in the last few years. The alt-right, super into it. Conservatives love it.
Hey, what if by tradwife what you mean is like an actual tradwife, like from medieval times, where they're kind of fat and stocky and they can lift large pallets of wood, or like big like bundles of wood. You know what I mean? Like the babushka, kind of like, you know what I'm talking about?
But I don't think enough of you know that it started out as a porn term.
Why do they talk like... No, unironically, stop talking like... Stop talking at all. Thank you.
It started out being used for mostly erotica. Erotica writers use the term tradwife to categorize.
TikTok. Is this just how people talk on TikTok? Because this is f***ing insufferable. Like, it's actually really annoying to listen to.
Is pornography.
Wow.
And now
Thanks
they like
for the syllables.
Seriously.
Is that true? I don't know if I believe that. I guess I'll have to take her word for it, but I don't know that I believe that, because you'll sometimes hear this about the word cuckold. They'll say the word cuck or cuckold, that it actually comes from a category of pornography. And I know for a fact that isn't true, because I happen to be of Italian extraction. And the term cuckold is one of the earliest insults. It's one of the longest standing insults you can use in Italian. You call them cornuto.
I thought he was going to say, because I'm a cuck. Yeah. Only a cuck would know this. No, you guys know he's correct, right? The term cuckold etymologically goes back an incredibly long time. It goes back before pornography was a thing. I don't know about the tradwife thing.
And it's symbolized, and sometimes you'll see Italians wear a necklace with what looks like a little chili pepper there, or you'll see the sign, like the rock and roll sign, that derives from this same symbol.
What? Okay. True, but the modern explosion of cuckold comes from porn. Yeah. So it's one of those words etymologically that goes back a really long time. But in its modern use, it's overwhelmingly used in porn, or at least in relation to its context in porn. Whereas the tradwife thing, I mean, obviously, if you want to get to etymological roots, traditional wife probably goes back like Sumerian times or whatever. But, you know, in its modern connotations, I don't know if it originates from pornography or from other stuff.
And it's the sign to ward off the malocchio so that you don't become a cornuto. And so calling someone a cuck, I mean, that's a very old term. You see it in English literature too. When the libs say it's from pornography, they might think it might have something to do with pornography now, but
It might. It may or may not have a relationship with pornography now. It's possible.
Might think it has something, it derived from pornography, but the only reason they think that is because the only thing that they know about art, literature, or culture is pornography.
That's a pretty big reach. I don't even have much to criticize here, aside from that's just a huge reach.
That's the main sort of cultural product that they are imbibing. So it's not surprising that they don't understand that these things have much longer history. I would not recommend basing your lifestyle off of pornography, but I wouldn't recommend...
What does this have to do with the TikTok? I expected Michael Knowles to just make fun of her for being fat. I was getting prepared for mean comments in rebuttal. This is like aimless rambling.
Totally denying or ignoring your sexual desires either. Sex is a powerful thing, and our erotic impulses.
What the fuck is going on? Unironically, where did this segue go? What
actually ought to be encouraged. They just have to be directed to the right place. I mean, ultimately, all of our desires are erotic desires, our desires.
What the fuck is going on?
for friendship, our intellectual desires, our desires for wisdom, all of those ultimately are to be a way of turning our souls toward God, the source.
Michael Knowles, I feel you, buddy. I see what you're trying to do here. My brother in Christ, I guess. We were talking about cuckoldry, and now you're talking about turning your sexual impulses into a path to God. What?
And summit of all good. So that's a long way of saying, even if...
Do you think he's a Christian convert? I don't think he's religious. I think, as is often the case, I think that people who make money promoting Christ usually believe in him the least.
This does have some porn tie-in. Well,
yeah, where's that thing? Where's the thing? This was like making the rounds today of Michael Knowles. He did like a gay thing back when he was trying to be an actor. Because all conservative pundits are failed actors or comedians. It was him doing the gluck gluck. Hey, Mikey. Where's the gluck gluck? Is this the gluck gluck? Oh, yeah. Unsettling, by the way. Look at that. That's talent. Look at the throat move with nothing in it.
Never beating the bicep.
This is a lot like a bird mating call, you know? Oh, he's practiced. This person follows me? Nice.
Okay, new scene. Haley and Jamie getting out on the mattresses. They're brother and sister.
Yeah, he's...
That's too well practiced. Oh, no, this legitimately takes a lot of effort to do. He's never beating the bi allegations. Hello again. 15 years later.
It doesn't matter what that says about the pornography industry. It matters what it says about human desire. There might be a reason that human beings have this desire. And it might not necessarily be totally disordered. Even if whatever the porn iteration of this is has all sorts of nasty, terrible things to it, there might be some kernel there where men...
I genuinely have no clue what he's going on about. I feel like he's going through this really weird, like, roundabout religious justification for consuming pornography. Which, if you're truly Christian, like, you're not allowed to masturbate, right? Spilling your seed on the ground. So I don't know.
Men want women who are like women, and women like men who are like men.
Women.
I am the role model that I want my daughter to have. Traditional wives and mothers need to consider what traditions they are upholding. I do not find fulfillment in being a wife and a mother. I love my husband and my child dearly.
Ooh. All right. You know, I feel like sometimes people make it really easy for the Daily Wire, for the Daily Wire people. Okay, that's rough. That's pretty rough, yeah. That's pretty rough. All you can say is like, yeah, I enjoy being a wife and a mother, but I consider my greater purpose to be, I don't know, my poetry. Vosh, why do you think they pick these ones? No, I know. You can cherry pick any. TikTok's a huge social media app. If you want to prove a point about feminazis or whatever, you can find a million good ones and one bad one and roll with that. It's just a dumb thing to say.
But if they were my entire world, my mental health would tank. I am so glad that I was late to becoming a wife and a mother, or at least late by evangelical standards, because it gave me time to find out who I was before I took on the role of being something to someone else. Some women do find fulfillment in being a wife and a mother. But pushing traditional gender roles harms those of us who do not or do not.
Why is she like crying? What is this camera angle? Why is she crying? It's performative. Why? Why perform it?
Not want to fit into your little box.
She seems happy, doesn't she?
Wow, this looks like the thumbnail of a Markiplier video where he plays an indie mascot horror game. Like, literally, all you have to do is up the contrast on this. And, okay, I'm just going to go to Markiplier's YouTube channel. I feel like it wouldn't take us long. Oh, he hasn't posted in 2 weeks. Marky. Come on, we need to find a smile. And not a Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's just say this. Can we just say this? Go back up to the Squidward one. Here we go. He looks just like this Squidward. Okay? Got it. Got him.
I don't want to make fun of her. She says, I'm really happy with all the choices I've made in life.
God damn it. I can't even disagree with Michael Knowles. She does come across as like really unhinged in that video. I can't even rebut his mockery here.
Yeah. Wow. Imagine. Imagine. Yeah.
Wait, what did that caption say? Anti-feminism? Feminists feed our babies too, though. I don't... Okay, now she's getting ready. And then she did laundry.
All right, hold on. Okay, so one woman is whisper reacting to this woman. This woman is making a conservative anti-feminist TikTok about her being a tradwife. And she got ratioed. It's 4 times as many comments as likes. So, okay. So we're adding to the ratio, and Michael Knowles is reacting to the reaction. Okay. Okay. Just making sure.
And then she did laundry. Getting ready and doing laundry are human things, not feminine things.
Can you talk louder?
What else does this girl think?
I do not know how to operate the laundry machine in my home. I don't know how to do it.
Is that true? Because that's kind of pathetic. It's like when guys brag that they don't know how to cook because their wife or girlfriend does it. Like, okay, seriously, a laundry machine, it's not complicated. Like, come on. Like these guys will be like, yeah, we're men like men are supposed to be. Apex of civilization. We build, we destroy, we create. And then you drop them in the middle of the woods and they just die. They don't even die of anything. Like, you drop Michael Knowles in the middle of a Pacific Northwest forest. 4 minutes in, he's got a full stomach. He's not thirsty. He hasn't fallen or caught a disease, and he just dies. Instantly perish. Like putting a fish that's meant to be in the river into salt water. Just, he's gone. Like, okay, you're very trad husband. Yeah. Stupid.
I have on maybe...
Lock him in a house alone. He sticks a fork in the outlet. What's that game that Donkey played? A video game, Donkey, with a friend, where one person plays as a baby whose goal is to die via like find fork, put in toaster, drink bleach, whatever, and the other person's the parent, like desperately trying to keep the baby from killing themselves. You know what I mean? That's living with Michael Knowles. Who's your daddy? Yeah. Michael Knowles is kind of like wobbling about like Octodad, like flinging himself into the traffic. You know, he's putting his head in the oven, and you just have to keep him out of all that. I don't know. That could be fun, like a hands-on tradwife or something.
Maybe a couple of occasions when my wife said, "Oh, could you go put the laundry in?" I have done it. I have had to ask her to guide me every step of the way.
See, this isn't whenever I hear stuff like this, it's like, you know how there's like a stereotype of a really pathetic guy who gets divorced and then every meal of every day is like a TV dinner or cereal because he doesn't know how to cook? And I always thought that has to be like a media stereotype because no one could not know how to cook rice. They make rice cookers. How to cook rice? You put the rice in the rice cooker. How do you not know how to make soup? They come in cans. Like, you had to be able to do something. But I guess I also don't know how you couldn't know how to work a washing machine. So
that is not something that comes naturally to men. That is a little more of a feminine thing.
I can't tell if he's joking. I can't tell. He's in the kitchen. He's like banging pots and pans on his head.
I would have to say. Keep going.
The 1950s? Does she not know the Civil Rights and Voting Acts weren't until the 60s? Some white people, man.
I don't know if she's talking about for like the civil rights movement that changed a number of structures in our country, but if she's talking about women and feminism, women did have the vote long before the 1950s.
They couldn't open their own. They couldn't open their own bank accounts in a lot of the country up until the 70s. There were a ton of legal rights they did not have back in the 1930s and 40s and such.
Interesting discussion to be had on that whole history, but I don't know. Okay, keep going.
Of course, the big advancement back in the 1960s with the second feminist wave of feminism was, women in the workplace, financial independence, and also sexual independence. I talked a little bit before with the debate with the previous guy about natural oppression. So natural oppression is when like life is unfair, Natural oppression is the fact that some of the people watching this right now, including myself, have bad eyesight. And if it weren't for the existence of glasses, we would be pretty screwed. Like, natural oppression, natural inequality is like some of us have congenital diseases. Some of us are physically weak or infirm. And hey, you know, some of you, according to my channel demographics, somewhere in between 15 and 20% of you, if you have sex, you can just be crippled for 9 months. Congrats. Sucks to suck. The invention of birth control went a long way to evening out the social relations between men and women. This is one of the reasons why conservatives, they're trying to revoke legal access to contraception. They are. They're openly trying to do that. Because it is only through the availability of birth control that women are capable of exercising a reasonable degree of sexual autonomy. Could you always wear a condom? Yes, but condoms break, and that's also generally something only the man can make sure is on and so on. Can you just give head? Yes, but sometimes you just want to get railed. Birth control evens it out. The essential idea is like, they don't want women to be able to sleep around, you know?
All right, well, I'm sucked in now, so let's see what
Vosh, there are female condoms. Guthos? Nobody uses them. Nobody uses female condoms. I know they exist. Nobody uses them. Also, think for a second, like, if you understand what they might feel like, they have to suck. I've never used one, but, like, think about it. Like, a condom is one thing, but with like a female condom, you're basically opening up like a big springy tube, like the, hold on. You're basically like unspringing one of these inside the pussy, no pun intended, just with a cap on the end. The kittens are like spermies, okay? You spring it out, and you just sort of sawing your dick in and out of this. And all the kitties get stuck. Why are the kittens there? Because it's a cat tube. Cat tunnel. I don't know. Okay.
What else?
I have failed this generation. What was the first thing that I read there? Nationalist. This is a Nazi. Very few people say nationalist unless they're a white nationalist or Nazi or whatever. Usually, like, conservatives who aren't those things say patriot. The term nationalist is not... Yeah. Oh, this person's name is Tradwife Danil? No, Danny. Thank God they don't share a name with my cat. This is an awfully short skirt for a Tradwife, by the way. Like, you're spinning it, and I can see 3/4 of the way up your legs here. Like, your pussy meat's dangling a bit above. You should reel it back a little bit. She's also pregnant. Oh, I didn't notice. Only landowning males should vote. Okay, yeah, it's a Nazi.
What? Only land-owning males should vote. No, but you specifically should not vote.
Hey, wait, is that Bronte Remzik? Oh, that's my old friend Bronte. Well, I couldn't.
What? Do you think Michael Knowles is explicitly going to defend the idea of having to be a landowning male to vote? I don't think I've ever heard him explicitly say that before, but he might. He's pretty crazy.
She looks kind of familiar. That's the gal who you may recall I had a long interview with on the topic of abortion. And there was a clip that went very, very viral from it in which she referred to pregnant persons. And I said, do you mean mothers? And she said, maybe that includes mothers, but there are other people. And she couldn't. So who, other than mothers, who can be pregnant? And she was sort of stumped by that question. Okay, keep going.
Would she not just say pregnant guys? Was she stumped by I feel like there's an easy answer. He's probably lying about the clip. I don't care.
A woman's touch. A woman's touch.
Wait, that was it? This is a different TikTok. He has nothing to say about the previous. Okay, I guess he's not going to defend the landowning male vote thing. Okay, all right.
If If you love being a stay-at-home mom, good for
Oh, is this the same? Oh, it's the same TikTok. Never mind. She's responding to a bunch. Oh, by the way, this right here, mega cucked. You take care of the children, I'll take care of us. I'm the happiest woman in the world. So this is what I mean with the servile dynamic that disgusts me to my core, okay? If a woman wants to take care of the kids primarily, that's a hard job. I respect it, you know? That's you know, that's real work. And I would never like denigrate that. I hope you have like a hobby too. Like I hope you have a personality. It'd be nice if that's not the only thing you've got going, that you're raising our children, but it's good work, you know? But this dynamic, like right here, why isn't, okay, actually, you know what? I'm going to take the other angle. I think this is misandrist. Why isn't the man happy? The man expresses no joy at this relationship. The only thing he seems to be indicating, and this might be a component kind of the Chad Wojak used, where he looks very stoic, whereas the woman looks, you know, Wojak happy. He looks like he's engaging in a business agreement. You know what a better analogy would be? This, to me, looks like a boss offering somebody a job, and the person who got the job is just a little bitch boy who's just so happy to work. That's what it looks like to me. This doesn't look like a loving marriage. This doesn't look like a dividing of responsibilities, even though that's what's being referred to here. What it actually looks like to me is a contract of subservience that one person just, presumably due to brain damage, takes a lot of enjoyment from, but not the trad husband. To the trad husband, this is just more property. I think this is deeply misandrist. What about the guy's happiness? Why can't the woman be the one to say, if you provide us enough money, I will take care of the home and our children? And the guy's like, that sounds amazing. Wouldn't that be a nicer meme? Am I off on that? Wouldn't that sound a lot nicer? All we need is like 1 or 2 more text bubbles here. You know what I mean? Like you could structure something a lot better, I think. Now, just my opinion.
The magic of Aladdin.
If you love being a stay-at-home mom, good for you. Why should we all be expected to do that?
Ah! Wow, that's crazy. Another feminist who's perfectly okay with women choosing to do that and just doesn't want it to be forced on everyone. That's crazy.
I don't... What? They didn't even bother to make the cartoon look happy.
Yeah, make the cartoons look happier. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, Hudson the Gamer, thank you. There we go. There's the Markiplier thumbnail. That looks great. Wow, man. Wow, that is something. Good Lord. Emote? I actually do think that's good emote material. I actually do, yeah. But it kind of overlaps a little bit too much with its time, don't you think?
I may not be a smart man.
She's just roasting herself at this point.
Well, in deference to my great friendship with Bronte Remzik, I won't be too harsh in my critique of this, but suffice it.
You haven't critiqued anything yet. We've been watching this bitch's TikTok for like the last 4 minutes of the video, and all we've been doing is watching it. You haven't said anything.
To say, Bronte, perhaps well-intentioned as she is, remains confused on a number of topics. My favorite, of course, would
wait, are you going to elaborate? Is that it?
Have to be
okay.
That first woman who said that.
No, that's it. Seriously? You have that woman. She goes through making fun of like 3 or 4 Tradwives, and then all you have to say, this is content theft. It's so condescending. No, it's pathetic is what it is. I don't feel that she should be condescended to. If I was her and I watched this video, I would think, shit, he didn't have any arguments. If this was being done of me, it was like, oh yeah, here, we're going to watch a Vosh video. And then you just hit play and watch 54 minutes of me talking. And at the end, they're like, he still doesn't know a thing. That's a win for me. Oh my God. Conservative punditry is so easy. Hey, at least the editors are working hard. I love being a young trad wife. In August, my husband and I will be celebrating 5 years of marriage. We have 2 children. It just makes more sense for me to be a stay-at-home trad wife. Women are better at being homemakers and caretakers. I don't care how offensive that may be to hear for someone. I've said this before, but like a lot of trans misogyny is rooted in misandry, because a lot of the stuff that people attack trans women over are things that tie into the presumption of men being more more predatory or dangerous, you know? So like a person who thinks that women should be taking care of children and men kind of shouldn't be will probably also think, if they think trans women are men, which, you know, these are overlapping beliefs, will then think trans women are like predators or whatever. I'm 17 but was raised left-wing. I had a transgender phase and thought I was bisexual at one point, but now I'm no longer bi and embracing femininity. However, I really want to be a trad wife. The other week I spent an entire day living like that and I hadn't been happier. What? Is this 17-year-old girl bragging that she spent a day? What exactly does being a trad wife entail besides taking care of children? Cooking meals for your boyfriend and you're in a Michael no you did chores for a day with your boyfriend and you what what do you want to bet the guy she's with is like 6 years older than she is at minimum? This is parody. This is insanity. Are you kidding me? For a whole day I did the dishes and also my boyfriend kissed me. I can't wait to be a trad wife. You're being groomed. I don't know anything. I can't wait to have my own family and serve my man the day I die. No, I take it back. This is not a woman being, well, girl, actually, being groomed. This is a jerking off while writing a narrative about an underage girl getting groomed by him in his mind. This is a 43-year-old thinking, if I could only, my neighbor's daughter is so sweet and innocent. If I could only show her the joys of taking care of me, she will understand her place in the world. That's it. Confirmed. From Colonel Based. Yeah, dude. Lots of 17-year-old girls with a channel Colonel Based. This is somebody else's IG live video. Oh, they actively post a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2 content. I griefed some kids on Minecraft and they never found out it was me. Listen to their voice. Yeah, but what if I click it and it's a feminine voice and I suddenly sound like an idiot? Watch it. Feels weird giving a video with this few views any attention, but okay.
Who was the greener? Kitty, leave the game. It's the green for you dummy! It was the freaking teenage kid, damn. I don't know. What teenage kid? I don't know. Guys, Kitty, go up there and pour water.
I'm not doing this anymore. Let's just assume that everyone commenting under Michael Knowles' videos is a... Are we fine with that? That's an easy rule. Okay, moving on.